So, the Guilty Gear Strive 2.0 patch, the big reset, has finally happened. And now is the time for me to learn Jacko. So, I've been waiting for this for a while now. I've been wanting to play Jacko for the longest time, and I thought waiting for 2.0 is probably the best time to jump in. So the patch just dropped. There's not really much I can do right now. I don't even think Jam's available. But in this video, I'm just going to be looking at Jacko and all her changes. There's not that much that changed for her. But I'm going to take a look at some of the new mechanics they added, right? Like I think the counter blitz stuff. You know, Jacko got some pretty cool servant changes, but we'll look at that when we jump into it. So I think the first big thing, probably for any Jacko player, they have accessories now. So this lets you, well, I had it on unmasked, but you know, default, you usually have the mask on, right? Now, before you even start the battle, you can have it unmasked. So, very nice quality of life change. Very happy. I kind of prefer the mask on, but for this video, I'll keep it off. I don't know why, I'm just a weirdo like that who kind of just enjoys the mask. But, yeah, and then the other thing, if you notice, now you probably have already seen this online, but the transition into battle is now different, and Jacko's actually in it. So if you pay attention, when the bird takes off, you can actually see Jacko, I think, sitting under a tree reading a book. So it's a nice little, like you, if you've seen the story, you know that they're kind of just chilling in this little cabin thing. But yeah, there she is. I think that's so cool. I don't know why, but nice little change for Jacko fans. But I think to start off, right? Well, let me go through. I'll go through some of the main bigger, like the main game mechanic changes first. The new counter blitz move. Let's take a look at that real quick. I'm gonna set that up. This is a new move for basically everybody now, and in order to activate it, you press forward dust, and it's pretty cool. She does like a 3-hit attack that basically puts him in the corner, and this activates off of you know, it's not going to activate off counter hits like this, right? It's only going to activate on big counter hits like this. And it actually wall breaks too. Right? So there are some changes to wall break too. I'm not going to go over everything because there's a lot, but I did want to show this off. So I'm going to start getting into the Jacko changes. I'm going to go pull it up real quick, and then we'll go through one by one what her changes are. So going through from the top, the first Jacko change was this low kick move, no longer being low profile. This is, I think, a universal change for everybody. So now these moves are no longer considered low profile. Which I think just means they're easier to punish. So, not as good as they used to be. And the sweeping attack also has higher proliferation, which means scaling. So, the move does less damage, basically. So, if you notice, by itself, it'll do 27, and then 15 after you do the low kick. So, less damage. The other thing that changed was I'm not really sure how this is. Maybe somebody can explain it, but apparently this slow or this close slash was being used as like anti-airs, and I guess they changed it to make it that you can't do that or make it harder to do that. I'm not sure. But this move, I guess, changed. So you can't do that now. So the other Jacko change was this far slash move. It doesn't knock him back as far, I guess. So maybe that's useful. I'm not quite sure yet. But now getting into what I consider like the 3 big changes for Jacko, which is her servant tosses are now at different trajectories now, which I'll show off in just a second. The other thing was this move. That is now a hard knockdown. And then the other one was the minion countdown move. So I'm going to show these off real quick. The minion throws now look like this. As you see, it goes behind the opponent. That's hold. So there's 2 ways to throw the servant now. Right? You can do this, which, you know, is the lower trajectory, which puts him in the front. Or you can hold it and it puts him in the back. So that's pretty cool. So now you don't have to do like, you know, this thing to send him to the back. Now you could just throw it if you're close enough. But yeah, I think that's actually probably a really good change. It's great for, I think, doing like this sandwich pressure, you know, stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure out Jacko combos. But stuff like that seems more or easier to do now. And then the other one was the countdown. If you notice, countdown does not take any more minion meter. So you basically get to do it for free. Now I think they did change, I can't remember if the minions disappeared on hit, but if you have this active now and you get hit, they will disappear. So they won't explode. I don't remember if that was the case previously, but that was in the patch notes, so yeah. But the other big change was to this move. That is now a hard knockdown. They cannot spin out of that. So that is pretty good for, or, well, you know, Jacko ideally wants to get you hard knockdown so you can do your setups, right? So this is like an ideal situation for her. So this is really good for Jacko, I think. And this also, you know, if I set the opponent to, not this, jump, right? This is a pretty good, I think, like anti-air thing too. So now this activates, you know, they say it's on the second hit, but it's really this hit, right? There's 2 hits to this move if you're up close, but it even works if you're standing far away and you get the, like if you knock them out of the air, it will still give you the hard knockdown, which I think is really cool. So just more ways to set up for minions, which I think is really good for her. But, you know, that is that. And the only other thing I'll probably mention is that maybe I should put this back on real quick. Okay, so the other thing was that this special here does less damage. Now this is kind of like their philosophy with this 2.0 patch is to reduce damage for a lot of characters. You can see it did 112 now. So, and then if you do it, whoops, let me do that. If you do it in a combo, I think scaling hits it pretty hard. Well, that's still not that bad. I don't know. But it should be doing less damage. Like I said, it's been a while since I played, so I don't remember what the old damage numbers were, but that's just how it is now, I think. Yeah, and I guess before I close out, there are, I guess, some important things to mention. Like if you whiff, like if you go for a throw, you can't Roman cancel out of it. Same thing is if you do this. This might hit actually. But if I was to throw this out and miss, that's it. I'm getting punished for it. I can't cancel out of it. So you can't spend your tension meter to cancel out of that stuff now, which I think is important to know. But yeah, this is probably going to be it for the Jacko video. Like I said, there wasn't very many changes for her, but this is the patch that's bringing me back. I really want to learn this character. If anybody knows any Jacko stuff, please share. I would love to see it. I would love to know. I'm basically starting from scratch at this point. It's been a while. I think the last time I played Strive was when they released Bridget. I did play a little bit of ABBA. Well, I did play Unica and stuff when she came out on the channel. So I guess it hasn't been that long, but I haven't really dedicated a lot of time to this game. But that's going to change because I really, really want to learn Jacko. So yeah, any tips, any tricks, any advice, whatever you got, throw it my way. I'd love to see it. Just wanted to do this little Jacko video because, you know, she's one of my favorite characters. I wanted to see what was going on with her in the new 2.0 update. And I think, from what I've seen, I think she's in a well, she hasn't changed much, so I think she's in a pretty good spot. But that's going to be it for this video. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on another one. Later.